Hello guys, welcome back to Grand Project Cars, and today we are going to do a complete flush on our steering fluid system. So before we start up, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe and turn the notifications on so that you will be alerted every time we upload a new video. So in this flush, there are two methods. The first one is the easiest one, where you pump as much as fluid possible out from the reservoir tank and add new fluid so that the system is having an oil change. This is ideal if your fluid isn't contaminated. The second method is where you take most of the oil out from the reservoir tank and then you remove the return line as well to remove all the oil which is in the system, so there is a complete flush for you. So let's get started. For this application, I'm using dextron type automatic transmission fluid, which is recommended by the manufacturer of this vehicle, and it is labeled on top of the steering fluid reservoir. So you're gonna need a set of pliers, some jacks, and a jack stand. Also, the power tool is optional. I'm just using it for my convenience. Here is a comparison between the old fluid, which is on the left side, and the brand new fluid, which is on the right side. See the color difference and the contamination. So in my application, I'm going to use the second method, where we're going to remove as much as fluid from the reservoir, then jack the vehicle up and remove the return line and remove the remaining oil in the system, and then do a complete drain of the steering fluid. First, break loose the nuts on your wheels on either side and safely jack up your car afterwards. When jacking up your car, remember to place your jack on the correct spot between the ridges and jack your vehicle up safely on a level surface. After jacking up, I am removing my front right side tire to access the return line of the steering system. Now you can see the vehicle front has been jacked up safely using jacks and jack stands. So now we can conduct our power steering fluid flush safely and easily. I am now using an oil sprayer top to remove as much as fluid from the reservoir tank to start the flush of the system. We have now taken out most of the oil in the reservoir tank. We can see the reservoir tank is almost empty now. The oil fluid also looks very contaminated, which is a bright red, is now almost a brownish color. So what I'm going to do now is turn the steering wheel lock to lock so that more oil will be pumped in the reservoir tank, and repeat the process. After turning the steering wheel lock to lock, we can see more oil is pumped into the reservoir tank. So we are going to remove them just as we did earlier. After removing as much as possible fluid from the reservoir tank, now we need to remove the return line. So it normally has a connection to the rack and to the power steering pump. So this is the return line we are talking about, and we are going to remove it and drain the oil. Using the pliers, we are now removing the return line clamp. Now we can see more fluid is leaking out of the return line. So what I'm going to do now is turn the steering wheel lock to lock, so more fluid will be pumped out of the system through the return line. We removed. You need to continue this until most of the fluid in the system is drained out. Now add new oil to the reservoir tank and again turn the steering wheel lock to lock like this until the oil coming out is clear and not contaminated. Now you can see new oil has started to come out of the return line. That is a sign that our flush is successful and is complete. Now we are fixing the return line and clamping it in place to fill the reservoir with new oil. Now fill the reservoir tank up to the cold max point. Now after filling, I'm going to turn the steering wheel lock to lock and the fluid level will drop. This is the position where we bleed the air out of the system and fill it with fluid. You can now see the fluid level is slowly dropping down. Since the fluid level has dropped, now we are going to add more oil to the fluid reservoir and then repeat the process by turning the steering wheel lock to lock and bleed more air out of the system. Now we are going to start the engine and shut it off in about 5 seconds to bleed more out of the system and send our new fluid into the steering pump. Now you can see that fluid level also dropped by a little bit, so we're going to add a little bit more oil into the reservoir tank. Please also remember to check for any leaks from the system. Now fix the tires, lower the vehicle and then tighten the tire lug nuts. Then after that, go for a small test drive and see if everything works perfect. After you come back, remember to check for any leaks once again. So I came back after test drive and everything works good, no leaks and the oil looks bright red. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. Bye.